The Silent Observer, The Art of Seeing What Others Can't. Part 1. Awakening the Power of Observation. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately sensed something was off? Perhaps a tension in the air, a flicker of unease in someone's posture, a story hidden behind quiet eyes. And yet, when you tried to explain it, words failed you. Maybe you've encountered someone who spoke with conviction, promising one thing, yet their actions betrayed an entirely different story. Most people miss these subtleties. Most people skim the surface. But not you. Not the one who is learning the silent, powerful art of observation. Observation is more than seeing, it is understanding. It is perceiving the hidden currents beneath words, gestures, and social masks. It is the ability to read a person like a book, noticing the chapters that they never speak aloud. Every person carries a story, sometimes gentle and open, sometimes hidden, complex, or even dark. And yet most people never pause to read beyond the cover. They make snap judgments. She's aloof, he's rude, they're untrustworthy. These judgments are not observation. They're assumptions. They are shadows mistaken for truth. The warrior of observation does not skim shadows. They chase clarity. They slow down. They notice. They listen. Every micro-expression, every subtle gesture, every tone shift, every hesitation becomes data. And with patience, patterns emerge. Patterns are the language of truth. The daily exercise of observation. Begin your practice today. When you walk through a crowded street, train your eyes to notice more than the obvious. Don't just see the clothes, the faces, the hurried movements. Watch posture. Observe the cadence of steps. Notice if a person's shoulders are tense, if their gaze flickers, if they avoid eye contact. Let your mind register these details without judgment. Do this for 5 minutes a day at first, then 10. Slowly you'll see layers where others see flat surfaces. Patterns begin to appear, a furrowed brow repeated across conversations, a repeated gesture when nervous, a smile that does not reach the eyes. Every small detail is a thread in the tapestry of truth. Observation as a superpower. Why is this skill so vital? Because observation shapes your life in profound ways. In relationships, it allows you to sense emotions unspoken, intentions unexpressed. In your career, it helps you navigate hierarchies, uncover motivations, and sense potential risks. Observation gives you foresight, clarity, and control, not over others, but on how you respond. Consider this. Most conflicts in life arise not from what people do, but from what we fail to perceive. The careless word, the hidden gesture, the unspoken tension. These are often misread or ignored. The silent observer catches them. They prevent unnecessary confrontation. They choose allies wisely. They recognize danger before it strikes. Stories of subtle observation. Think of a leader in any field, a general on the battlefield, a CEO steering a company, a parent navigating complex family dynamics. Their power does not lie in brute force or loud declarations. It lies in perception. The general notices the subtle hesitation in a soldier's stance, the glimmer of uncertainty in a rival's eyes. The CEO observes patterns in employee behavior, detecting disengagement before productivity falls. The parent notices shifts in mood, learning to act before a child's frustration becomes rebellion. Observation is the difference between reacting and responding, between chaos and mastery. You are capable of this too. Every interaction is an opportunity, every person a teacher, every environment a laboratory for perception. The mind versus the eyes. Most people think seeing is observing, but seeing is passive. Observation is active. Your eyes collect information, but your mind interprets it. True observation is about connecting the dots your senses provide. noticing inconsistencies, patterns, and emotional truths. A person may say, "I'm fine," but their eyes are distant, their shoulders tense, their hands fidgeting. That is the truth, speaking softly, even when words lie. The first step is stillness and awareness. Before you can observe others, you must cultivate stillness. Slow down. Listen to the subtle sounds of the environment. Notice your own heartbeat, your own breathing. Only when you are grounded can you detect the small ripples of human emotion around you. The silent observer moves like water, calm, patient, receptive. Exercise. Find a place in your home or outside where you can sit quietly for 10 minutes. Close your eyes and notice everything: sound, movement, light, energy. Then open your eyes and observe the first person you see for 5 minutes. Notice posture, gestures, micro-expressions, and energy. Don't interpret, don't judge, simply notice. This builds the foundation of perception. Observation and self-empowerment. Observation is not just about understanding others, it's about mastering yourself. When you notice, you gain control. You no longer react blindly to words or actions. You see intent, emotional undercurrents, and patterns. You learn to protect your time, your energy, and your heart. The silent observer is not a passive witness. They are a strategist, a thinker, a person who transforms awareness into power. Remember, judgment closes the mind. Observation opens it. Judging creates distance. Observing builds connection. Observation creates empathy, wisdom, and influence. The hidden stories in every face. Every person you encounter carries a universe within them. Their eyes hold histories, their posture reveals unspoken battles, and their voice reflects triumphs and struggles. The silent observer recognizes that no two people are ever truly the same. Imagine walking through a crowded market. At first glance, everyone seems ordinary. Faces, clothing, gestures blur into a sea of motion. But when you slow down, truly observe, you start to notice the nuances, the slight tremor in a hand, the fleeting glance away, the way a person leans forward when excited or recoils when uncomfortable. Each movement is a line in a story, a secret written in behavior rather than words. Take the old man sitting on a bench. At first, he seems tired, perhaps irritable. But as you watch, you notice his eyes light up when a child passes by. You see the faint twitch of a smile when a dog runs past. His body speaks gratitude, warmth, and long-forgotten joy, even though his words say nothing. To the casual observer, he is merely an old man. To the silent observer, he is a living novel of experience and emotion. Exercises for everyday observation. The 5-minute scan. Choose a public space, coffee shop, park, or street. Pick one person and observe for 5 minutes. Note posture, gestures, facial expressions, and energy. Do not judge, simply notice. The inner question. While observing, ask yourself, what might this person be feeling? What might they want? What are they avoiding? Let curiosity, not judgment, guide your thoughts. Pattern tracking. If you observe the same people multiple times, note recurring behaviors. Patterns reveal truth. One-off actions can mislead. Repeated behavior uncovers reality. Reflective journaling. At the end of each day, write down observations. What did you notice about people, about yourself? How did this awareness change your perception or response? Observation as armor and weapon. Observation is both shield and sword. When practiced diligently, it protects you from harm, emotional, social, and professional. It allows you to sense dishonesty, hidden motives, or subtle manipulations before they impact your life. At the same time, observation empowers you to influence and inspire. By understanding others' unspoken needs and fears, you can respond with precision, empathy, and authority. Observation gives you the rare ability to act effectively while most around you react blindly. Consider a story. A young woman entering a new workplace observes her colleagues closely. She notices subtle hierarchies, unspoken alliances, and the nonverbal cues of her manager. Instead of rushing to speak or assert herself, she waits, listens, and adapts. Within months, she becomes indispensable, not because she's louder or more aggressive, but because she understands, connects, and moves strategically. Observation gave her power that no overt effort could replicate. The role of patience. Observation is not instant. It is cultivated over time, like sharpening a blade. The mind must train to resist judgment, the eyes to catch the subtlest cues, the heart to feel without immediate reaction. Patience is the silent ally of the observer. Without it, you mistake fragments for patterns, reactions for intentions, or deception for truth. Exercise. When interacting with someone challenging, pause. Observe their words, tone, gestures, and reactions. Resist the urge to respond immediately. Let your mind absorb the information. Count to 10 if necessary. This small pause can prevent misunderstandings, reveal hidden truths, and allow you to respond with clarity rather than impulse. Observation builds emotional intelligence. The silent observer develops a unique kind of emotional intelligence. By noticing the micro-signals of others, you begin to understand moods, triggers, and desires without them saying a word. You recognize unspoken distress, concealed joy, or hidden resentment. You sense shifts in energy before they manifest in conflict. This skill has profound implications. In relationships, it allows you to empathize deeply, respond to unspoken needs, and strengthen bonds. In leadership, it enables you to inspire, guide, and anticipate challenges. In life, it cultivates resilience, wisdom, and inner calm because you are aware of reality rather than reacting to illusions. Stories of quiet strength. Consider the story of a martial artist training in a dojo. While others focus on speed, strength, or flashy techniques, the master watches. He observes the opponent's posture, breathing, and micro-movements. One student rushes, strikes without seeing, and fails. Another student, trained in silent observation, waits, notices subtle tells, and succeeds effortlessly. Observation, not brute force, determine the outcome. Life mirrors this principle. Those who rush, judge, or act without awareness stumble. Those who watch, listen, and learn move with precision, confidence, and power. Observation is the weapon of the calm, the armor of the wise, and the path to mastery. Self-observation, the mirror within. Before you can truly observe others, you must first observe yourself. Your reactions, biases, fears, and assumptions color your perception. If you are unaware of your own triggers, every interaction becomes a distorted reflection. The silent observer begins with self-awareness, asking, "Why do I react this way? What am I feeling right now? How do my beliefs shape my perception?" Exercise. During interactions, silently track your internal state. Notice if anger, Impatience or pride surfaces. Ask yourself, is this my reaction or a reflection of reality? With practice, you separate emotion from fact, assumption from truth, and bias from observation. The Silent Observer, Part 2. Curiosity, Attention, and the Body Speaks. Observation is not passive. It is active, deliberate, and fueled by curiosity. Without curiosity, you see only the surface. You miss the hidden currents beneath words, gestures, and energy. Most people skim life, judging quickly, assuming they understand, and moving on. The silent observer is different. They wonder. They ask questions internally. They notice what is not said. Curiosity as the engine of understanding. The first and most powerful step in mastering observation is curiosity, not judgment. Curiosity opens the mind. Judgment closes it. When you judge, you think you already know the answer. You stop looking. You stop learning. Curiosity, on the other hand, keeps your eyes and mind active, seeking patterns, nuances, and hidden truths. Imagine this scenario. Two people meet a colleague who is unusually quiet in a meeting. A judgmental mind says, he's shy, he's uninterested, he's not capable. Curiosity asks, why is he quiet today? Is he stressed? Is he processing information differently? Is something affecting him personally? The first response closes doors. The second opens them. Curiosity allows you to see layers of meaning others miss. Exercise. The next time someone surprises or frustrates you, pause. Ask yourself internally, what might be happening beneath the surface? What could be influencing their behavior? Record your observations and see if your initial assumptions match reality over time. The body speaks what words conceal. Words are often unreliable. People say things they do not mean, conceal their emotions behind polite sentences, or even lie to protect themselves. But the body rarely lies. Micro-expressions, posture, gestures, and energy reveal truth. Consider a friend who says, "I'm fine," but avoids eye contact, taps their fingers nervously, and sighs repeatedly. Their words deny discomfort, but the body tells the real story: tension, anxiety, or unspoken concerns. Observation is about noticing these discrepancies and trusting the silent narrative of the body. Body language cues. Crossed arms may indicate defensiveness, discomfort, or self-protection. Leaning forward often signals interest, engagement, or curiosity. Avoiding eye contact can show guilt, nervousness, or discomfort. Mirroring, copying your gestures unconsciously, suggests trust and connection. Fidgeting or repetitive movements often indicate anxiety, impatience, or internal conflict. Exercise. Observe a conversation without participating. Focus entirely on the body language of participants. Note discrepancies between words and movements. Ask yourself, what might their body be revealing that their words are hiding? Patterns over moments. A single gesture can mislead. A fleeting smile, a casual shrug, or a brief glance may have multiple explanations. True observation comes from noticing patterns over time. For example, someone may avoid eye contact once. It could be shyness. But if they consistently avoid eye contact when discussing certain topics, a pattern emerges. That pattern tells a story, discomfort, insecurity, or perhaps a concealed truth. Observation is not about moments. It is about repetition, consistency, and reliability. Exercise. Keep a mental or written log of behavioral patterns in your daily interactions. Observe colleagues, friends, or strangers over days or weeks. Patterns reveal intent, character, and truth far better than isolated actions. Curiosity and emotional resilience. Curiosity does more than reveal others' hidden truths. It strengthens your own emotional resilience. When you approach people with curiosity rather than judgment, you are less reactive. You don't take offense as easily. You see behavior as data, not personal attacks. Consider this. Someone snaps at you unexpectedly. The judgmental mind responds with anger or resentment. The curious mind asks, what could be causing this reaction? Is it stress, personal struggle, or misunderstanding? By observing without immediate judgment, you maintain control over your emotions, responding with clarity rather than impulse. The silent, questioning mind. Curiosity is not about interrogating others overtly. It is about asking quiet questions within your own mind. For example, why did they say that? What might they be avoiding? What is influencing their behavior? What patterns are emerging over time? This internal dialogue sharpens perception. It transforms ordinary observation into strategic insight. It allows you to anticipate, respond, and connect with precision. Stories of curiosity in action. Consider a diplomat navigating a tense negotiation. The other party's words are polite but guarded. Most observers see only surface-level agreement. The curious diplomat notices the subtle tension in posture, fleeting expressions of doubt, and the repeated avoidance of certain topics. By piecing these together, the diplomat gains clarity about true intentions, enabling them to steer the conversation effectively and achieve outcomes that others would miss. Or think of a teacher observing a classroom. A student may appear disengaged. The curious teacher notices microsignals: fidgeting hands, downward gaze, small smiles at certain questions. By observing carefully and patiently, the teacher identifies interests and motivators, guiding the student to engagement and success. Listening beyond words. Observation is inseparable from deep listening. Listening is not merely hearing words, it is noticing how words are spoken: tone, pace, volume, and pauses. Every sentence carries emotion, intention, and subtle cues. Tense, shaky voices often indicate nervousness or concealment. Slow, soft voices may reveal sadness or exhaustion. Rapid, pressured speech can signal anxiety, deception, or urgency. Pauses and silence carry meaning, avoidance, reflection, or suppressed emotion. Exercise. In your next conversation, focus entirely on how words are delivered rather than what is said. Notice rhythm, emphasis, and changes in tone. Reflect on the emotional subtext beneath the words. Curiosity builds connection. Curiosity creates trust. People sense when you are genuinely interested, rather than judging or evaluating. When curiosity drives your observation, others reveal themselves authentically. They drop masks, share thoughts, and reveal intentions. The silent observer, fueled by curiosity, becomes a person others naturally confide in, a beacon of understanding in a noisy, judgmental world. Practice. The observer's challenge. Daily observation. Spend at least 10 minutes observing people in a public space, silently asking questions in your mind about behavior, body language, and energy. Track repeated behaviors over days. Look for consistency and triggers. Curiosity journal. Write down what you observed, what you wondered, and any insights. Reflect on how curiosity altered your perception compared to snap judgments. Silent experiment. Sit in a conversation and resist immediate reactions. Focus on body language, tone, and unspoken cues. Let your curiosity guide understanding before forming conclusions. The Silent Observer. Part 3. Patterns, Energy, and Reactions. Observation is not a one-time act. It is a continuous process of noticing, reflecting, and connecting the dots. The silent observer sees beyond individual actions, recognizing patterns, energy shifts, and the raw reactions that reveal true character. Patterns reveal the unseen truth. Human behavior is rarely random. Every action, every reaction, and every choice leaves a trail. Observing single moments is like reading a single sentence in a novel. You get a glimpse, but not the story. Patterns, however, reveal the narrative of a person's life, mindset, and values. Consider this. Someone promises to be on time, but frequently arrives late. A single instance could be an accident, but repeated lateness over weeks shows a pattern, a lack of respect for time, disorganization, or priorities that differ from yours. Observing patterns allows you to separate intention from accident, truth from excuse. Exercise. Reflect on your relationships, professional or personal. Identify recurring behaviors, both positive and negative. Ask yourself, what does this pattern reveal about their priorities, values, and character? Patterns are the silent storytellers. They give clarity, reduce confusion, and prevent being misled by fleeting impressions. The warrior observer does not get caught in the drama of isolated incidents. They step back, see the rhythm, and understand the underlying truth. Energy, the invisible language. Words and gestures can be controlled, even manipulated, but energy, the invisible aura each person carries, is harder to fake. Energy is the emotional signature, the unspoken vibration that affects those around it. Have you ever entered a room and felt tension before anyone spoke? Or met someone and felt instantly at ease, as if their presence radiates calm and trust? That is energy. Negative energy drains and confuses, leaving unease, stress, or subtle fear. Confused energy is unpredictable, warm one moment, cold the next, leaving others walking on eggshells. Positive energy uplifts, inspires, and restores clarity. People feel safe, respected, and aligned in their presence. Exercise. In your next social setting, observe your own reactions first. Notice who energizes you and who drains you. Your body's response is the first indicator of energy alignment or misalignment. Reflect on why certain energy affects you. This is insight into both yourself and the dynamics around you. Reactions are windows to the soul. While actions can be calculated and words manipulated, reactions are raw and honest. Reactions happen in the split second before the mind fully processes a situation. They reveal fear, joy, insecurity, strength, and hidden values. Consider a simple test. Ask a question, make a suggestion, or introduce an unexpected element. Observe. How does the person react to criticism? Do they become defensive, reflective, or dismissive? How do they handle praise? Are they humble, uncomfortable, or boastful? How do they respond to rejection? Do they become angry, cold, jealous, or resilient and respectful? Every reaction is a window into a person's emotional core. The silent observer notes these responses without judgment, understanding that reactions are truth, unfiltered by social masks. Exercise. During conversations, pay attention to the micro-reactions, a twitch of the eyebrow, a shift in posture, a pause in speech.
Ask yourself, what does this reveal about their true feelings, intentions, or fears? The test of power and weakness. True character is revealed not in comfort, but in moments of challenge, vulnerability, or power imbalance. Observing how someone treats people who cannot benefit them, waitstaff, cleaners, strangers, speaks volumes about their ethics, humility, and integrity. Kindness without reward signals authenticity, grounded character, and respect for human dignity. Conditional kindness, friendly only when it benefits them, reveals strategy, manipulation, or self-interest. Exercise. Observe interactions in daily life. Notice who treats everyone with respect, regardless of social status. Note who acts differently when they perceive no one is watching. These observations highlight not just morality, but the reliability and authenticity of the people around you.
Silence as a tool of observation. Silence is often underrated in human interaction. Many people rush to fill pauses, speak without thinking, or reveal too little. The silent observer understands that silence itself communicates. Pauses can indicate hesitation, reflection, discomfort, or contemplation. Moments of stillness may reveal internal struggle, uncertainty, or suppressed emotion. Observing how someone handles quiet moments. Do they fidget, fill space with talk, or remain calm? Uncovers deeper patterns. Exercise. In your next conversation, practice being silent after someone speaks. Observe what happens. Do they continue talking and reveal more than intended? Do they retreat into themselves? Let silence be a mirror that reflects hidden truths. Triggers, the hidden map. People have triggers, topics, actions, or behaviors that provoke a strong emotional response. These triggers often stem from past experiences, unresolved pain, or deeply held beliefs. Observing what triggers someone reveals the layers beneath the surface. A sudden change in tone or posture may indicate discomfort or past trauma. A defensive or reactive response to praise, critique, or surprises signals emotional history or insecurity. Exercise. Observe triggers in your interactions. Note when someone shifts subtly, tightened shoulders, averted gaze, repeated gestures. Ask yourself, what might this reveal about their values, fears, or priorities? Over time, this becomes a map of human behavior, guiding your understanding and interaction. Patterns, reactions, and energy together. True mastery comes when observation integrates patterns, reactions, and energy. A single action tells little. A single reaction is fleeting. But the combination over time, how someone consistently behaves, reacts, and carries their energy, paints a complete picture. Imagine a colleague who appears charming in conversation but repeatedly dismisses junior staff. Their words are smooth, their body language is friendly, but energy tells a different story: arrogance and entitlement. Observing the pattern of behavior, the subtle energy shifts, and the reactions to those around them reveals their true character far beyond appearances. The observer's edge in life. The silent observer possesses a rare edge in life: clarity. By focusing on patterns rather than moments, you see the truth behind the mask. Protection. By noticing energy and reactions, you guard against deceit, manipulation, and conflict. Connection. By observing reactions and body language, you empathize with others and build trust. Wisdom. By integrating patterns, energy, and reactions, you navigate relationships, careers, and social dynamics with insight and precision. Exercise. Commit to daily observation. Track one person's patterns, energy, and reactions. Record your insights. Reflect on what this reveals about human behavior, yourself, and the world around you. The Silent Observer Part 4: Self-Mastery and Inner Awareness. While observing others is a powerful skill, the ultimate mastery begins within yourself. You cannot fully understand the world around you if you remain blind to your own thoughts, triggers, and patterns. The silent observer knows that self-observation is the cornerstone of wisdom, emotional intelligence, and true connection. Step into your inner world. Self-observation is the practice of turning the same attentiveness you give others inward. It is a conscious act of noticing your thoughts and their origins, your emotional reactions and triggers, your habitual behaviors, both productive and self-limiting. Ask yourself, why do I react this way? What fuels my fear, anger, or insecurity? These questions are not rhetorical. They are your gateway to understanding not just yourself, but how you interact with the world. Think of your mind as a landscape. The more you observe it without judgment, the more clearly you can navigate it. Without self-awareness, even the sharpest observer of others risks misreading reality, projecting old wounds, biases, or fears onto the present. Triggers and emotional reactions. Every person carries emotional triggers, echoes of past experiences, pain, or trauma. These triggers shape your perception and response to the world. For example, a past betrayal may make you distrustful of someone who exhibits similar behaviors, even if they are innocent. Childhood criticism may cause disproportionate sensitivity to minor feedback today. Repeated rejection might make you preemptively defensive in relationships. Through self-observation, you can distinguish what belongs to your past from what exists in the present. This allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. The silent observer understands awareness transforms reaction into choice. Exercise. For 1 week, note moments when you feel irritated, defensive, or anxious. Ask, is this response about the present situation or is it tied to a past experience? Over time, you will see patterns that once went unnoticed. Breaking the cycle of projection. Projection occurs when you attribute your unresolved feelings to others. You might assume someone is hostile, dishonest, or critical, not because of their actions, but because of your own insecurities. Self-observation helps you break this cycle. By examining your own thoughts and emotions, you gain perspective. You recognize when fear, jealousy, or past hurt clouds your judgment. You can respond with clarity instead of reacting with bias. You avoid misinterpreting others' intentions based on your history. The warrior observer does not blindly trust perception. It tests it against awareness, reflection, and emotional clarity. The power of reflection. Observation is incomplete without reflection. Watching others and yourself is just the first step. The next is making sense of what you see. Reflection allows you to integrate lessons from patterns, reactions, and energy shifts. Understand your own behavior and choices. Identify areas for growth in character, emotional intelligence, and decision-making. Reflection turns information into wisdom. Every observation becomes a building block for mastery, not just of life around you, but of the life within you. Exercise. At the end of each day, write down one behavior you noticed in someone else that surprised you, one reaction you had that revealed something about yourself, how your awareness can guide your next action more wisely. Emotional intelligence as the core of observation. Observing yourself and others builds emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in yourself and others. Emotional intelligence allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Navigate conflict without unnecessary drama. Build deeper, authentic relationships based on understanding, not assumption. Detect honesty, sincerity, and integrity beyond words or appearances. Exercise. During interactions, ask yourself, what emotions are present in me, in the other person? How can I respond with clarity and compassion instead of judgment or reactivity? Compassion through self-observation. The more you observe yourself, the more compassionate you become toward others. Awareness of your own struggles, insecurities, and mistakes naturally expands empathy. You realize everyone is navigating their own challenges. Judgment diminishes. Patience grows. Listening becomes deeper, more present, more effective. Compassion is not weakness, it is strength of understanding, allowing you to navigate human behavior with clarity and grace. Becoming the ultimate silent observer. The culmination of observation, self-awareness, and reflection leads to true mastery. The silent observer embodies curiosity, seeking to understand, not to judge; patience, observing patterns over time, allowing truth to reveal itself; presence, fully engaged in the moment, attuned to energy, reactions, and nonverbal cues; self-awareness, understanding your triggers, biases, and patterns to act consciously; compassion, connecting with others deeply and authentically without manipulation or assumption. At this stage, observation is no longer just a skill, it is a way of life. You move through the world with clarity, influence, and inner calm. You see the truth behind appearances, act with integrity, and protect your energy and peace. The silent student in a noisy world. Life is loud, chaotic, and full of distractions. Most people react impulsively, speak without thought, and judge quickly. The silent observer stands apart. You listen more than you speak, hearing truths that others miss. You watch more than you act, noticing patterns and energy that guide decisions. You reflect before responding, choosing actions rooted in wisdom rather than emotion. You learn from all interactions, even from those who challenge or hurt you. In this practice lies extraordinary power, the power to navigate life with insight, influence, and inner peace. The world is full of noise, but the silent observer cultivates clarity in stillness, wisdom in patience, and strength in quiet mastery.
Daily practices for the silent observer. Curiosity journal. Record observations about others without judgment. Ask, why did they act this way? What patterns am I noticing? Energy check. Note how people make you feel. Identify those who energize and those who drain. Reflect on alignment. Reaction awareness. Observe your emotional reactions in real time. Ask, is this mine or a projection? Reflection time. Each evening, integrate insights from the day. Record patterns, energy shifts, and personal growth points. Mindful presence. Practice fully engaging in conversations without planning responses. Listen, observe, and reflect before speaking. Final words. Mastery through observation. To become the ultimate silent observer, stay curious. Wonder, question, and explore without rushing to conclusions. Watch quietly. Notice subtle movements, micro-reactions, and the patterns behind them. Listen deeply. Pay attention not only to words, but to tone, pauses, and silence. Reflect honestly.
Integrate what you see and feel to guide your actions. Observe yourself. Understand your triggers, emotions, and biases to act consciously. Trust the invisible signals. Energy, reactions, and subtle cues are often more truthful than words. The silent observer is a warrior of awareness. In a noisy, fast-paced world, their power lies in stillness, patience, and insight. They see what others cannot, understand what others miss, and move through life with clarity, integrity, and influence. Observation is more than a skill. It is the path to wisdom, strength, and true mastery of life. The world may rush, speak, and judge. You, the silent observer, watch, reflect, and rise above. Become the silent student. Become the observer who sees beyond appearances. And in doing so, unlock the extraordinary power that lives quietly within you.
If this message hit you, then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.